This story is currently gripping the nation because it feels like a high-stakes legal thriller, but it is happening right before our eyes at the Federal High Court in Abuja. The courtroom was packed recently, buzzing with lawyers in their black robes and curious onlookers, all waiting to see the man who once held the keys to the kingdom. Malami isn't alone in this. He is standing trial alongside his son, Abdulaziz Malami. The headline that has everyone talking is that the court has now adjourned the trial to March 10. But why the delay? This is where the gist gets really interesting. The current Attorney General, Lateef Fagbemi, has officially stepped in and taken the case over from the Department of State Services, the DSS. His team told the judge they needed just a little more time to study the massive files and the evidence gathered. It's like a relay race where the baton has just been passed to a new runner and they need a moment to catch their breath before the final sprint. If you find this transition of power as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button right now and subscribe to the channel so you never miss an update on these big stories. Now, let's talk about the actual wahala or the trouble they are facing. The charges are heavy. We are talking about allegations of terrorism and the illegal possession of firearms. According to the document, when the authorities searched their home in Kebbi, they reportedly found a Storm Magnum firearm and dozens of live and used cartridges. The government is claiming they didn't have the right papers for these weapons, but the part that has many people whispering is the claim that Malami, while he was the Minister of Justice, allegedly refused to prosecute certain people suspected of funding terrorism. Think about that for a second. The person in charge of fighting crime being accused of looking the other way. On top of the weapons charges, there is a staggering 8.7 billion naira money laundering case lurking in the background. We are talking about luxury properties and complicated company deals that the investigators are currently picking apart piece by piece. It's a lot to take in, and it makes you wonder how deep the rabbit hole goes. The defense team isn't just sitting back though. Malami's lawyers are pushing hard, telling the judge that if the government isn't ready to bring their witnesses by the next date, the case should be thrown out entirely. They want their clients to have their day in court and get it over with. Both father and son are currently out on a 200 million naira bail each, which is a massive amount of money by any standard. The tension in the air is thick because March 10 is fast approaching, and that is when the real fireworks are expected to start. This case is a huge test for our justice system. It shows that in a democracy, no one is supposed to be above the law, no matter how high they once climbed. It's a story about power, family, and the search for truth. If you are enjoying this breakdown and want to stay informed on how this ends, make sure you have subscribed and turned on the notification bell so you are the first to know when the court sits again. There is so much more to break down regarding the specific companies involved in that 8.7 billion naira figure and how the investigators tracked the money across different accounts. It reads like a movie script, but it is the reality of our current political climate. Everyone is asking, will the evidence hold up, or will this be another case that disappears into the archives? To really understand why people are so shocked about the 8.7 billion naira money laundering charge, you have to look at the list of properties the government has been talking about. This isn't just about numbers on a page, it's about a massive empire that investigators say stretches across Abuja, Kano, and Kebbi states. We are talking about over 50 different properties, including luxury hotels, schools, a university, and even a printing press. One of the most talked about items is a luxury home in the Maitama area of Abuja that was reportedly bought for 500 million naira but is now valued at nearly 6 billion naira after some very expensive upgrades. It feels like something out of a movie, doesn't it? If you are finding this deep dive into the properties eye-opening, please make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel so we can keep bringing you the facts as they drop. The list of assets is quite long. In Kebbi State alone, investigators have pointed to a university campus, a radio station, and even a massive tanker garage. There are also reports of several high-end hotels in Kano and Abuja that the government is looking to seize. For many Nigerians, the shock isn't just the amount of money, but how quickly these assets were allegedly acquired.
The prosecution is arguing that these funds were diverted from public resources during the time Malami was in office. It's a classic case of following the money, and right now, all roads seem to lead to these high-value investments. But here's where the plot thickens even more. While the money laundering case is huge, it is being handled alongside those 5 counts of alleged terrorism and illegal firearms possession. The government is literally attacking this from 2 different angles, the money and the security aspect. Just a few weeks ago, the court even ordered that some of these properties be temporarily forfeited to the government while the trial continues. This means that for now, the defendants can't sell or move these assets until the judge makes a final decision. Malami and his son have pleaded not guilty to all of this, and they are standing their ground. They've already spent some time in custody at the Kuje Correctional Center before they were able to meet their 200 million naira bail conditions. Those conditions were strict. They had to find people with multi-billion naira properties in specific parts of Abuja to stand as their sureties. It shows you just how seriously the court is taking the risk of them leaving the country. This whole situation is a massive conversation starter for Nigeria. It's about more than just one family. It's about whether our laws work the same way for everyone. When a former Attorney General is the one facing the law, the whole world watches to see if the process will be fair, transparent, and fast. March 10th is the date everyone is waiting for because that is when the prosecution finally has to bring out their witnesses and show their cards. We are going to be right there to see if the government can prove these claims or if the defense will find a way to break the case apart. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to stay updated on the next chapter of this legal battle.